Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the ORA News broadcast for our English News edition. I am Daniel Cook, your host, Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m., presenting a translated version of today's top news stories as prepared by the ORA News journalists. The Assembly Speaker, Ilir Meta, has explained his position regarding the CHEZ issue. He considers it to be a mafia-style political attack with the collaboration of financial and media exponents, and not at all supported by evidence and facts. Speaking at today's plenary session, Mr. Meta denied the accusations that the opposition has made against him, declaring that he was not a mediator of the CHEZ-DIA agreement. The Assembly Speaker called the accusations against him a plot by the former Minister Dritan Prifti and the former MP Tom Doshi. He made the following statements to the Assembly. For about a month, we have been witnessing a mafia-style political attack that is not supported by facts or documents. I'm speaking now about those who are supporting this mafia-style attack. Everything is clear, everything was well studied and well prepared, but the operation is not based upon evidence. An irresponsible journalist from Bern mentioned my name, but the company has made an official statement saying that I am not in any way related to any transfer or corrupt practice in this issue. The former Prime Minister has benefited from a money transfer from the DIA company to his private company. If you want me to be like this Prime Minister, I am sorry for all of you, he said. Mr. Meta did not accuse the former Prime Minister Sali Berisha and rejected his involvement in this issue. He denied having been the mediator of the deal and denied lobbying in Prague for the DIA company. He went on to respond to the demands for his resignation. Are you asking for my resignation only because Lulzim Basha said so? Are you asking for my resignation because of the Bern journalist lied? On what basis should I resign? Lulzim Basha has avoided justice with absurd reports. As I have declared, I support an international investigation into this case, concluded Meta. The Democrats' request for an international investigation into the CHEZ issue sparked debates in today's plenary session. The issue was first discussed at the Conference of Chairmen, when the Democrats' initiative was not included in today's parliamentary agenda. Despite this, the issue quickly became the main focus of the plenary session and set off harsh arguments between the majority and the opposition. The Democrats asked for an accelerated procedure to approve their bill, but the Socialists claimed that there was no legal basis for such a move. Former Prime Minister Sali Berisha declared that the CHEZ issue requires an international investigation, saying that it is the biggest corruption affair in recent history. The head of the socialist group, Gramoz Rucci, clarified that the majority did not discuss or reject the content of the bill, but that they rejected an accelerated procedure for passing it, because such a motion would be unconstitutional. He added that the Socialist Party supports a comprehensive investigation of the case and encouraged the MPs to trust in the Albanian justice. Mr. Berisha blamed Prime Minister Edi Rama for the CHEZ agreement, which according to him was done at the expense of the citizens. Invited to be a guest on Tonight Il Votare, the President of Albania, Bujar Nishani, commented on the process of drafting the justice reform. The President claimed that there have been efforts to keep him away from the reform. He made the following comments. There were some efforts by the majority to keep the President away from this reform. They wanted to draft a document without involving me. I was left outside, with the aim of keeping the presidential surveillance away. They have lied to the public and to our partners, telling them that the President does not want the justice reform. The justice reform must be done for the citizens, said President Nishani. He had serious accusations for the chairman of the Justice Commission, Fatmir Jafai, blaming him for the bad condition that the justice system is currently in. He raised the concern of a possible blackmailing of the general prosecutor by removing his mandate after the approval of the law on justice. He said, "Why does the mandate of the general prosecutor need to be interrupted? They must provide a reason for this. The majority must make the facts public on why they want to interrupt the mandate of the general prosecutor." President Nishani supported the establishment of a National Bureau of Investigation, a structure that is predicted in the justice reform. Regarding the recent comments about the OSCE mission in Albania, President Nishani felt that removing the mission from the country would be a big mistake. The Albanian state would be making a big mistake to request the removal of the OSCE mission, he said, and I do not think that this will happen. The mission has a completely different dimension from that of NATO. The recent OSCE ODIHR report highlighted some serious problems and showed that the OSCE monitoring is vital. The president declared that the letter sent by Spartak Braho was sent to the Prime Minister and was forwarded to the President and the Assembly Speaker just to make them aware of it. Lastly, the President commented on the CHES issue, supporting an international investigation and accusing the government of violating 3 fundamental pillars of the state, in which the President has a balancing role. Albania's commercial banks are issuing fewer and fewer loans according to the data from the Bank of Albania. The BOA data shows that lending in the month of August decreased by 1.2% compared to August of 2014, marking a decrease for the 7th month in a row in 2015. During this year, lending by commercial banks grew only in May. The continual decrease of lending shows that the economy is still in stagnancy. The total loans issued in August of this year amount to 550.2 billion lek. The data from the central bank shows that lending is 1.4 billion lek less than it was in July. The bank reps have explained the situation with the claim that the businesses have not presented good projects. But on the other side, the businesses claim that the banks have tightened their conditions for granting loans. Meanwhile, bank deposits have grown in the month of August. In the last 6 months, the commercial banks have increased their deposits by 6 billion. The central bank pessimistically forecasts an even more tightened lending situation for the second half of this year. The Bank of Albania has ranked Greece as the first among Albania's foreign investors, representing a massive 26% of investments. It might seem as though the financial crisis in Greece has brought even more Greek investment in Albania, as according to the BOA, Greek investments were 1.16 billion lek in 2014, 7% more than the previous year. Greek companies show the most presence in telecommunications, processing, and wholesale trade. The second biggest foreign investor in Albania is Canada at 775 million euro, which is 17% of the total foreign investments. The Canadian investments are focused in the processing industry, and the biggest investor is Bankers Petroleum. The third largest investor is Italy, with 12% of the total foreign investments, around 526 million euro. During 2014, Italian investments grew by 3.5%, and they are primarily focused in the manufacturing sector, construction, and real estate. The Bank of Albania reports that there is a slight increase of investments from the U.S. and Cyprus, but their investments are much lower than the 3 main investors. The employees of Albania's social care centers will be put through testing from October 2nd to October 9th. The Ministry of Social Welfare will be conducting the test to assess the professional skills of the state social workers. In an interview for Ora News, Minister Klosi declared that 540 employees are going to be tested, and that any social workers and directors who did not achieve positive results will be suspended from duty. The testing of the social workers, from the guards and the cooks to the directors of the institutions, will be done according to a calendar prepared by the Ministry of Social Welfare. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our edition for this evening. Thank you for watching. Please join us again at 6 o'clock tomorrow for more translated news in English. Thanks, and have a great evening.